I'm gonna get distracted by these throughout the entire video. I got them because I thought they were really super cute, and like, and I thought they were super cute on as a couple people I saw them on, and I think they're super cute on, like, I like how they look on me. I think they're fun, but like, I can see them in my I can't say this word easily. Peripheral, anyway, that word. I can see them, and occasionally feel them, and so it's a little weird. It may be a sensory overload. We'll see how it goes, but I think they're cute. And I don't wear a whole lot of jewelry otherwise, so I thought it would be fun. Anyway, what is this video about? Hi, welcome back to the channel. This is gonna be a chaotic video, as you can see. It's been a bit chaotic up here for a while, without any breaks. So like, it gets chaotic up there a lot. I have some medications that help smooth it out and etc. But occasionally circumstances happen, the medications don't always work as well, and it usually happens shortly after I get sick, like super sick. And so I think, in a couple other videos I talked about having the flu in February, like the endish of February, and how it was taking me a long time to recover. And I think I'm on the tail end of that recovery finally. During all of that, my brain will usually get weird when I am super sick. As Olivia calls them, the little brain goblins. Which I've adopted that phrase. It's just the best phrase to describe what is happening up there. But anyway, brain goblins can sometimes take over. Anyway, I've been struggling a lot with that and my physical illnesses. So it's been a little rough around here. One part of that, and I don't know if it's the cause of the chaotic brain or if the chaotic brain is a symptom. Wait, I'm phrasing that wrong. I don't know which came first. I don't know if my planner system started failing first or if my planner system failed because of the chaos in my brain, but either way, it's kind of feeding each other now. So that's what this video is about, is my planner system, journal system. My system is not working, and for the last at least 2 weeks, I have been trying to figure something out without having to go out and just buy another $30, $50 planner. My projects and editing has suffered because I can't get my brain to calm down enough to think through the steps and do what I need to do in order to get all that stuff together. And the longer it goes between me getting to do something I like, the more my brain tries to tell me, like, it's too late, you've already missed too many days, you're gonna suck at it. All those little fun little thoughts that aren't true. Like, yes, if you don't practice, you don't get as good, but like, you can always start whenever. Like, you don't have to, it doesn't matter how long. Sorry, there are some tea leaves left in my tea, and for a second it looked like a bug, and I was just double checking. It's a leaf. Anyway, I can't seem to get things done without my system, and it's frustrating. And so I've been trying to work out something new, and it took about 2 weeks because I just was... Brain fog was also a big issue, and if you have it, then you understand, like, it's called fog for a reason. I feel like I'm really thick, heavy, like, think like Pirates of the Caribbean rolling through the fog, like, you can't see. Thick as pea soup, as, like, I think British. Anyway, is that a Narnia? I don't know. Anyway, in between the time, though, I did do some things for me to kind of help with my mental health, and I think I'm going to add them to the channel as well. I've already done one video, the art journal. I'm going to get back into that. I talked about that also, I think, in my intentions video for the year. Is that something I wanted to get back into, and so I just did. That's something I'm going to keep up and try to do weekly, and I may film all of them, I may film none of them, I may film some of them, so I don't know yet. I do know that I think I have a planner system to try. It's going to be an experiment. We're going to see how it goes. I'm trying not to spend a lot of money on a new planner system, especially if I don't know if it's going to work, because I was so sure at the beginning of the year that like this system was going to work, and it did until about the end of February. I redid my whole sit down, like with all my notebooks out, and wrote down pros and cons about each of them and rewrote those lists a few times, and then tried to see, okay, what wasn't working and why wasn't it working, and then looking for ways to make it work with things I already had, or could get very cheaply. Because I did purchase one thing. It was $4.50, and it was a ream of paper. I do have some video process, because while I was doing a lot of this planner rethinking, I was trying to remake some of my notebooks to see if I could make them work. So I'm like taking apart my Hobonichis from the last couple years, which was scary. I didn't get the taking apart on film because I was super scared to do it, and it was also an impulse of like, I'm just gonna do it. So I didn't even like, filming it was not a thought until after I'd already done it. But I took apart my Hobonichis very carefully, and that way all I basically harvested from was the empty pages, and all of the pages that were filled out I left, or like put back together in the order, and I'm gonna rebind that later. If you would like to see me rebinding it, let me know and I will make a video about it. If you've made it through all of that rambling and you're still here, I'm going to move the camera to a top-down situation, and we can talk about the different things a little further. I'm also going to put timestamps. I'm going to try my best. I still need to go back and do it to the other video, that couple videos that said there were going to be timestamps. Anyway, I'm going to try to put timestamps for each book and etc. And then at the very end of this video, there'll be some time lapse of me kind of decorating and putting and like filling out the new system. All right, let's flip you over. No. All right. So at the beginning of the year, this was my system. I had my long form journal, my A5 Techo. This was the, and it still is, this was the main planner. This was the Wonderland 666 and extra journal in an A6. This was kind of like a bullet journal, scratch-all notebook, brainstorm, just extra notebook in an A5. This health journal, and this was the reading journal. This and this are still working fine. So we're just going to move those over and deal with the problem children. So the biggest culprit, no, the two biggest culprits are these two, really. We'll talk about this one first because it had the easiest solution. So this was my reading journal, and I had a really fun time setting it up. And I only kept up with it for 8 books. After that, I didn't. 2 things. I really hate this paper. It is not my favorite. It's lined. I'm not a huge fan of lined paper. I try my best, and you're gonna see I have another lined notebook that I'm trying to use. Paper is a bit better though. but I don't like this paper. I also don't really enjoy writing in a hardback book anymore. I'm not sure why. But mostly I'm not keeping up with it. I still haven't put any of the photos in it. What I've come to the conclusion is, I don't think I'm a reading journal girly, which is upsetting because I love reading. I love journaling. I love making decorative papers. Like, I love this spread. I love it. And I love watching other people make really pretty little book spreads. And I realized that wasn't going to be me. So I tried to do very simple. But the other problem I'm having is I also don't want to come back and read this. I have come back and read a couple of things just because I forgot a couple of things, but like it's not within me to come over here and like reminisce about the books I've read like that. I think we're just going to sort of do away with the idea of a planner or journal just for reading. I think what I'm going to do is we're going to combine my reading journal into more of my commonplace book, which I'm also having trouble getting started, and I think this will help because there are some books I want to take notes about, and there are some books that I want to keep memories of, but not every book I read do I want to do that with. We're just going to do that, and I will show you my idea for a commonplace notebook in a minute. But for now, we're going to say goodbye to the reading journal specific notebook. What I'm going to do is take this page out again and paste it into the commonplace, and the same thing with this one. And maybe this, I don't know. So, oh, and I'm going to gut it. So I'm gonna like take this whole text block out, and I am going to repurpose this notebook cover into like a junk journal cover. If that is something you want to see, leave me a comment and let me know, and I will make a video out of it. Okay, the next big culprit is my health journal. Do I need to turn some light on? I feel like there's not enough natural light coming from this window. I'm going to turn a light on. It's going to get warm color, but I may try and fix that in post. We don't know. I don't know if that's any better or not. Hope so. Let's get a little closer for this book. Okay. So, this little guy. If you watched my video on my planner lineup for the year, you know I love this cover. And I loved the little embroidery insert. I hated the notebook, and as you can see, it's in pieces currently. I hated the notebook though. I did not love it. The binding wasn't, or the cover on it wasn't the greatest. It tore pretty quickly. I just didn't like lined paper. Felt shitty to write what I wanted to write on it, if that makes sense. It's not big enough to try and squish all the things that I wanted to squish in it. And that's what she said. God, please. Anyway. Oh, Lord. What I'm gonna do, and the reason it's in pieces, is because I love this cover. It is also very hard to find notebooks that fit in this cover. There were a couple of suggestions on my video about it, and I have yet to order them. They are on my JetPens list to order, but again, I'm trying not to order anything in it for 6 months, so they're just kind of sitting there. At some point, I do want to try those notebooks. I'm a little nervous about the grid size in that notebook, but anyway, that's future Laura's problem. Moving on. This little guy. So it's not that I don't like it. It's that it's not working for what I want it to work for anymore. I began, let's see, I'll try and edit out what I need to edit out. This was working fine. It's mostly the weeks, but it just wasn't enough. And it was hard to actually like get everything in it. Because my health planner is not working in that, I've decided to turn this into my health planner. So I'm going to flip through and show you what I was doing and then show you what I'm kind of doing now. And it's not all filled out because I haven't gone through and backfilled it for the times that I was sick and didn't keep up with stuff as easily. So this won't change. It's just the travel and doctor visits. I still need to go through and fill it in. It's still what it is. It just happens to work easily to switch this to a health tracker because it's already tracking doctor's visits. This section was where I was tracking my YouTube stuff. So I was tracking when I filmed, when I edited, if I posted a short, if I posted on Instagram, when I posted a video, and what days I'd researched and planned videos. I am going to fill this in because I want this page complete. And I do have the data for this, it's just not in here. What I'm changing it into is what the months were in this one. So I was using the months to track my pain scales for the overall day. So on my weekly, I was tracking my morning and my afternoon numbers, and then what the afternoon numbers, so the highest it ever got, because sometimes the morning can be high. So whatever the highest number was for that day is what I posted, or what I tracked in here, because I wanted to know like how bad did it get that day, and I wanted something really easy. So if the doctor asks me how many bad days did you have a month, I can tell him how many 9s or 8s or whatever I had. I'm now tracking just the numbers, so just the fatigue level, joint pain level, and headache/migraine level is getting tracked in this quarter spread page. And so I don't know if you can read what I have written, but I redid my number system too, because I find that when I'm trying to explain my 6, 7, 8, and 9 to somebody, like they don't quite get it. So I was thinking about it and went through a bunch of different ones on like Pinterest and etc. to see if I could find one that I liked. And so I just came up with this one. And so it's a 1 to 5. And 0 is I'm not bothered by anything. I'm having the perfect day. This I would love to write down a 0. I don't know that I'm going to get to, but I would love to write down a 0. 1 is in pain, but I can still do things. It's annoying, but I'm not having to slow down or stop. I would also love to be able to have more of these days. I have them every so often, but I would love to have more. I usually live in 2 to 3, but 2 is in pain. I need breaks. That is my daily go-to. I'm in pain. I can get stuff done, but I have to take breaks. 3 in pain, but I'm needing longer breaks. And so these breaks are like anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. These breaks are going to be your longer than an hour or like naps. 4 is I spent the day on the couch or in the bed. I could still do certain things like read or watch TV or fold clothes or play video games, but I have to be on the couch or in bed because that's the level of fatigue or pain that I am in, etc. 5 is I'm in bed and I'm probably sleeping. I'm not doing anything but maybe listening to a book. That is 5. And so that makes it easier for me to narrow down, and it's a lot easier for me to explain to a doctor, I think. So this is the new system that I'm going to work with, and we'll see how it goes. Next, I was using the habit tracker with my cute little decoration page that I still love so much. I don't know why. They're just stickers and they're just laid down, but they just make me so happy. Anyway, I was just tracking some habits that I just wanted to see how often I did. Now, when I track these types of habits, it's not to make sure that I do them every day. When I track these types of habits, it's just to see how often I'm doing something. If it's something I'm doing too much of, like sometimes I do crochet too much, I need to take breaks. And so that's kind of how I use these. What it's going to turn into though, is it's going to turn into the rest of the things that I was tracking in the monthly for the health journal that I had. So that's how I'm going to use that now. So the months, I was using like any other month. If I need to, I will. So I just put like memories, events, birthdays, therapy appointments, doctor's appointments, things like that. I did come back and what's the word? Backfill, that's the word I want. Backfill the months from this, just so I would have it all in one place when I would go to the doctor, so I'm not like missing information. So I did backfill some of this, and I'm going to backfill some more. And I was trying to figure out how I wanted to do it. This felt messy, so I didn't do it that way. The next month, so February, I went and backfilled it a little bit neater. And then March, I still have to fill out, but it is much neater. And so April's is like this. And I decided that I'm going to try to also, because I am tracking these symptoms in the habit trackers now, I don't need to get back there, but because I'm tracking those symptoms that's listed on the side here in the habit tracker, I turned this into a mood plan or a mood board type thing, mood tracker, and doctor's appointments. And so I decided this is going to be another way to use my stickers. I have a little bit of Coffee Monster Co. stickers. I don't have near the collection I would love to have. I have all the emoji heads that she does. I have the whole set. And back when it didn't come in a set and I bought them singly, now they come in a set and I can't wait to order the whole set. It'll make things so much easier. But I'm going to use one a day to be the overall mood of the day. I still am going to track like how many of these I feel in a day, because I have emotional regulation issues, but I just want to see, again, for, talking to my doctor and explaining things, and just to see maybe it's not as bad as I feel like it is sometimes. Sometimes it might be, but there are a lot of times where my brain goblins tell me it's a lot worse than it is, and I love to have data to prove it wrong. It helps ground me. It helps me realize, like, what thoughts are lies and what thoughts aren't. So, I have all these little color charts for happy, content, bleh, brain goblin day, sad, irritable, and frustrated. And I have colors for all. And so if I feel it that day prevalently, it's going to get a dot. And then my overall mood for the day is going to get a sticker. So, alright, my video cut off. So I was saying it was going to get a sticker. And I'm excited to see how this fills out and to use my stickers up. I think looking back on it, even what's fun about this is even I think on my bad days, when I see her little stickers, I still think it will be okay. Because it'll be like, her stickers are just cute. So looking back on it, even if it is a sad month, bad month, whatever, I think just having her stickers will make it easier to deal with. But that's, anyway. So the weekly, what I was doing with the weekly, this is probably a fine one, who knows. If I need to blur something out later, I will. So what I was doing is doing the weather up here every day. That's not going to change. And then I was just kind of time tracking my day to see where I was spending the majority of my time, how I was using my time, if I need to do something better, etc. And then I was also tracking currently reading, currently watching, my water intake, my tea, because like I don't do coffee, I just do tea, and my doctor said it counts for hydration, and so we're just trying to count how much I actually hydrate, because I forget to hydrate. It's a big problem of mine, and I always feel better when I do drink enough water, obviously, so it's just something to keep up with. So I'm going to keep that here, and then doctor's appointments on the days that I have them. Weather is going to stay the same. And then this is kind of going to stay the same of being like, it's not going to be a timed thing, but it's going to be just how I felt throughout the day, different things, and we'll see if it's big enough. I'm already a little concerned this isn't big enough either, and what I may have to do is kind of break this page up a little bit more. We'll see. I do love this planner, so we may see about getting it in a size bigger for next year, but I'm going to try and make this work. You know, my last words. I'm going to try and make it work. We'll see how this experiment goes. We'll put it this way. It's all an experiment, and we'll just see how it goes. So that's going to be my week. And then the final thing is in the back. I'm going to move my doctor's information from here to in here. And then I have a page for medications. And I have a page for strains. I use medical marijuana for a lot of my issues. And it's what I do. I am in a legal state. All that jazz. I have my card. Blah, blah, blah. Alright, so that's that notebook. This notebook I hadn't really gotten started in at the beginning of the year because I still had the notebook that was in here, which is not in here anymore. It's been filled up. But I had a Stalogy in there that I was brainstorming in and keeping lists in, and anything that wouldn't fit in the dailies here. Anything that didn't fit in the dailies went into this one. Now that this is filled up, as far as the back, I only had enough room for I did not have enough room for April, so I wasn't going to do it. But I'm also changing the point of this planner, so I wasn't going to do it. But I did a real good job of filling out the dailies. And so I'm just leaving the rest for medical stuff. But this is now going to be my daily to-do lists, which is what the dailies were there with a little journaling. But this is just going to be to-do lists. And so this also has my TBRs. I keep them here. And so I did update that. I need to go through that again. It keeps a Costco pricing list, so I can kind of see how the prices are going up. If they're going up, if they're going down, how they compare to some stuff I find at Walmart, things like that, just trying to save money. It's a crochet project list I'm not showing, another project list I'm not showing, video list idea I'm not showing. So this has lists in it. Not that one either. Yay. Okay. Then I put a weekly cleaning list. Again, I was having a lot of chaos in my brain, and it was not as easy to clean. It's not easy for me to clean anyway. I can't always physically do it. I can't always mentally make myself do it. Anyway, but I was losing track of what was getting done during the Brain Goblin Chaos months. I was doing pretty good before that. So I thought this would try and help not make me have to make decisions, if that makes sense, because that was part of the problem. Every day I was looking around the house and trying to figure out what I needed to prioritize in cleaning, what needed it the most, etc. So I'm gonna try a weekly checklist like I used to do. They do work sometimes when I do them, sometimes they do not, but we're gonna try again. So I have every day and the main 3 to 4 chores that I need to try and do that day if I'm feeling good. If I don't, it's not a pressure thing. And then either my husband can help me or I can do it at a later date. But my hope is if I can at least do 5 to 10 minutes of each of these things, then it's not as big of a deal. I have a monthly cleaning thing because I was not keeping up with that well at all. Especially fan blades. I'm disgusted with myself and our fan blades, so we're gonna try to do that. So yeah. And it only has 10 because I've only just started this in March, so I still need to do a couple of things. This is quarterly cleaning. These are things that we forget that we're supposed to do and do them randomly, and it's always like rough whenever we finally get around to it. This one, my husband's actually really on top of, so that one's not as big of a deal. And then these are yearly things, some things that I don't ever think of that some people have pointed out to me that would be good to do, etc. So those are lists. And then I did a monthly page because, again, I love decorating. And so we have my list of things to do today, which I'm still going to use minimal stickers. Again, I'm trying to use up my stash. So that is the end of this. And yeah, I have them in there like upside down so that I can just flip it, because I hate covering the covers, and I don't know, this is the way I use it. I usually take them out to write in them anyway. Not always, just sometimes. We're back. I had some camera issues and then needed to take a break. My throat was hurting from talking and I was just kind of running out of energy. Still don't have that much energy left, but I want to continue the video because it's been helpful to talk through this today. So we're going to talk about this planner now. And this is now my main planner. So I'm not sure what all I've said before in the previous clips because it's been a few hours. So if I repeat some things, I'll try and take out what I can, but sorry if it gets left in. Anyway, I sat down when I realized my planners weren't working, and I did my like big O lists and stuff and figured out what I needed, what I didn't need. And the planner that I thought would be the most helpful for my idea was the Take a Note A5, and it is out of stock. I can't find it anywhere. So what I did is I went onto Canva and I printed a booklet. I designed a booklet based off some templates that I found on Canva. Some of them are Canva Pro, some of them are regular Canva. I do pay for Canva, so some of these you may not be able to get for free, but that is what I did. And so I printed off booklet form. I bought some paper from Amazon. It's Kikuyo paper. It comes in an A4 size, and it has holes all the way through this top side because it's supposed to go in a Kikuyo A4 binder. But I wanted the A4 size fountain pen friendly paper with a graph, and that was the closest I could find at a price that I was also willing to pay to see if this experiment works. So the package had 50 pages in it for $4.50. So it's what we're trying. And I just printed it off with my own my own printer, and then did some decoration. I am already seeing some things that I would like to change for next month, and that's one of the reasons why I'm trying out a TN style planner again, because I can reprint this insert every month and I can tweak it as I need. I have this monthly print off, and it is where I will have, birthdays, appointments, events. I am going to go ahead and track YouTube things on here, just the filming, editing, posting, and if I post a short. But I have my habit tracker here that has several things on it. It has some basic hygiene things on it because when I have really dark times and lots of brain goblins, those things can sometimes go out the window, and I'm not as good at keeping up with them. So for the next month or so, and I also added some new things to my skin routines, so we're gonna keep up with it and make sure that I do those. The rest of them is just to see how often I do them. This is to make sure that I am doing it. But normally my habit tracker is just to collect data and see how often I do things. This page is now my currently page, and so I have what I'm currently reading this month, what I'm watching this month, the projects that I finish this month, and then my YouTube numbers and data will go here. And then here is the take a note style planner, and we're gonna see how this works. I like the idea of doing like a week at a glance and like having my chores on one side and then other important things on the other, just so I can get a glance, and then doing a more detailed timeline of my day and having like my priorities at the top of each day. And so I think that this is gonna work. We will see. I also thought the other thing would work, and to my credit, it did, just not for very long. Something else that I'm noticing, like my lines are a little off. When I printed it, I had it print to fit an A5 size page on the A4 page, so it had two A5s, and then I folded it in half, and when I put it in here, it stuck out just ever, so like it was flush, and I wasn't sure I liked it, and I also wanted it even with this little black notebook, but this black notebook isn't quite a full A5. I think it's like an A5, in between an A5 Slim and an A5. This is A5, because these are pages from an old Hobonichi that I'll get to in a minute. So this is A5, and these are a little short, so I'm going to say this is A5 Slim. I think I'm going to make this, leave it at A5 next time, so that this isn't so off, because this also drives me nuts. But I'm going to use it for the month because I've already printed it, and it will just be fine. Or I'll complain about it all the time. Who knows? 1 month, it'll be fine. So I've got all the month in one booklet, and then I'm gonna archive them and then probably use like a box system, because I can't find so far the little like binders that you can put these in to archive with in this size. So we'll see. I may make them. But that's what I'm going to use as my main planner. And then this is now my commonplace book, and I've already kind of started it a little bit with a couple of things that I've been wanting to write down for a while. I just hadn't, and so I used this as the like momentum to write these things down. And then earlier when I was in between things, I went ahead and moved this over here. So this is a lined journal, but I do love the feel of the paper a lot more than some of the other lined journals I've been trying to use, so maybe that will work. I also really kind of like how this looks, so we'll see. Maybe this notebook will help me like lined paper. I don't know. Now this is Pieces of a Hobonichi. This is a vinyl from Coffee Monster Co. that I just put double-sided tape on because I'm afraid to stick it down anywhere permanently. And it's already been moved to like 4 different journal covers. So we're just gonna keep reusing it until I can't anymore. These were loose pages that I pulled out of the Hobonichi cousin, some past versions that weren't complete, and so these pages ended up being loose. They didn't get to stay in the binding at all. I will post a video at some point. I need to get it edited and kind of finished up, but there is some footage of me kind of playing with this and taking it apart and gluing it back together and covering it and trying to make it work. Newsflash, it went through like 3 different versions before it settled on this, and so it's kind of weird still. The cover is a little wonky and bubbly, but it's just gonna have to, it kind of feels funny and weird, but I don't mind it, so it's fine. But it's going to be what my Stalogy was, and it's just going to be a place for me to write things down randomly, to take notes, to put things in here that don't fit in here if I need to. So these are my new like daily pages type thing. And I'll just fill them in as they go. I plan on using a bunch of stickers and stuff in it, so it's probably going to bulk up, which is why it's only a few pages of it. It's not a whole lot. And so we'll just see how this goes. And hopefully this all works out well. And I'm not making another one of these types of videos next quarter, that I am just giving you an update on how everything works. We'll see. We'll see. But that is all for me, I think, with this. Thank you if you've made it this far. I know this was a very long video, I'm sure. At the end of this, when I get done talking, there will be a time lapse if you would like to watch that. It's just of me decorating the new layouts of this planner and the little small one that's going to be the health journal, the little Wonderland 222. So yeah, I hope your systems are working, and if not, I hope you find a solution. Thank you very much for watching. It means a lot to me, and if at this point I am talking to nobody but myself, it was still good, because I think I have become more comfortable with my ideas since saying them out loud, and I feel more at ease about my solutions as long as, you know, they stay together and don't fall apart. We'll see. We'll see. Alright. Thank you all, and I hope you have a good day, good week, good quarter, good month.